Now at 6, what we know about a series of arsons in Joplin over the past few months. And new details of a lawsuit filed by the city of Neosho against Newton County regarding unpaid TIF money.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Joplin Police Department is investigating 22 arsons over the past several months. And today they're releasing details about one that allegedly put the lives of 6 children at risk. This is KOIM News at 6. KOIM's Bronte Sorotsky joins us in the studio with details on these cases from the Joplin Police Department.
Out of these 22 fires that the city has seen since this summer, Captain Will Davis was able to give information about 7 of them. Davis wouldn't provide us all the details, but he does tell us that all of the 7 are either first or second degree arson charges. Police made one arrest that they would tell us about. It's connected to a fire on the 2700 block of East Quincy Street. Authorities charged Christopher L. Smith of Joplin with arson in the first degree and 6 counts of child endangerment. They say he used a butane lighter to set fire to the window frame of a house while 2 adults and 6 children were inside. As far as we know from the information provided to us, this is the only known arrest made for recent arsons. We'll have details on a number of the other fires tonight at 10.
Bronte, thanks. Freeman Health System today held its COVID media briefing discussing the neurological side effects of COVID-19. The National Institutes of Health created a database to track neurological symptoms associated with COVID. Those symptoms can include headache, loss of smell, or more rarely, problems such as stroke, brain disease, or other brain damage.
That's why it's important to talk to your provider about the symptoms you are having. Other symptoms, if you have weakness from COVID, but you can have weakness from stroke also. So if someone says I'm weak on the right side of my body after COVID, we just can't say that it's just COVID. It could be one of the neurologic complications like acute stroke.
Dr. Opal says it's important to consult your doctor or seek medical treatment if you do experience any of those symptoms. The Jasper County Health Department reports 4 more COVID-19 deaths. The patients were 2 men in their 50s and 60s and 2 women, both in their 80s. The latest deaths bring the county's total to 235. Doug Heddy joins us with a first look at this wet, cold weather, Doug.
Yeah, pretty nasty outside for us today. It's been raining most of the day. We've had some embedded little thunder showers in there, but really just kind of light to moderate rain all day long. This is what we're going to continue to see as we go through the evening into the overnight hours tonight. In fact, you can see it increasing again, southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma, and lifting into the metro. So over the next couple hours, we're going to have a pretty good band of showers rolling through the region. Temperature is also cold. Most of us are sitting into the mid to upper 50s to near 60 once you get into our western counties. And we're going to slide back through the 50s down near 50 later on tonight. But bands of showers continuing all night long. We may get a little bit of a lull late evening into about 2 o'clock in the morning, and then things will start to pick back up late tonight and then rain again through the daytime hours for us tomorrow. So we'll talk about rainfall amounts and when is this going to move out coming up here in just a bit.
Catch you then. We're learning more about a lawsuit filed by the city of Neosho against Newton County regarding unpaid TIF money. KOIM's Chris Warner has more.
We first brought you the story of the suit last week detailing what the city was looking for. Neosho established a TIF in 1999 to help the city fund improvement projects within the district. Documents received by KOAM show the last payment the city received was in September of 2015 for just over $24,000. Then the payments stopped, and on October 6th of this year, the city filed a suit.
The county has an obligation under state law to collect, allocate, and pay that money, and it just hasn't done it. And so now the city hopes to recover that money along with the interest that might be due from non-payment of that money over that period of time.
David Struble has been hired by the city to represent it in the suit. Struble says the county hasn't provided a clear reason as to why they stopped paying, but have referenced needing an invoice.
An invoice is not a prerequisite under state law for them to, as I said, collect and allocate and pay that money. For a period of time, for reasons that really aren't clear. I think the city may have sent the county an invoice as a courtesy, but the county gets those sales tax records from the state, and the county knows the amount of money it should be paying.
We spoke with Newton County Presiding Commissioner Bill Rybel following a commissioners meeting Wednesday morning. While he declined to do an on-camera interview, he did answer some of our questions. Commissioner Rybel explained to us that the county is going to start making the payments next month, and then in January, the county will pay the entire amount. Rybel told us, quote, "Under state statute, anything we budget, we can pay. This was not on our budget, so we can't pay until January."
The city just wants the money that it's due under state law. And so the city wasn't anxious to go to court about this. And I think that the city would love to resolve this with the county.
In the Osho, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
The county has until November 29th to respond to the suit. Still ahead, they call him the strongest kid in the world, and he calls Kansas home. We're going to catch up with Bo Jensen and hear about his latest record-breaking attempt. And Missouri Southern looks to bounce back from a tough loss as they prepare for Missouri Western. 2 people are dead after an elderly man drove the wrong way on I-44 in Jasper County. The Missouri Highway Patrol says Andrew Wilson, a 91-year-old from Neosho, was driving east in the westbound lanes of the interstate 3 miles east of Fidelity last night. The patrol says he hit a car driven by 58-year-old Janet Edwards of Sarcoxie head-on. Both drivers died at the scene. A single car crash near Lockwood claimed the life of a 45-year-old Humansville, Missouri man. That crash happened on County Road 32, 7 miles west of Lockwood. The Missouri Highway Patrol says Glenn Briggs lost control on a gravel road, hit a fence, and flipped his SUV. Briggs died at the scene. Starting Monday, all public safety communications in Ottawa County will run through a single dispatch center. The Miami, Oklahoma Police Department says if you dial 911 for an emergency anywhere in Ottawa County, the Miami PD will dispatch officers for your jurisdiction. The police department says the change will provide a faster response and better service to county residents. The world's strongest kid is at it again. A 10-year-old from Topeka, Kansas, who broke records earlier this year at the U.S. powerlifting meet in Nebraska, keeps pushing himself to new heights. Isaac French reports.
Bo Jensen went to the U.S. Nationals for powerlifting with a goal to break every record in his age group. Once he did that, he looked for new challenges.
Bo won the world record down in Florida at the USA Nationals, and from there he got invited to the Steve Harvey Show. And on the Steve Harvey Show, he did a truck pull, Chevy Silverado, and it was very easy for him.
I said after we done that was easy. So I did a Hummer. That was easy.
Tuesday, Bo suited up for his heaviest challenge yet.
Then I was like, well, what else do you want to do? He's like, maybe I could pull 2 trucks. 3, 2, 1, start!
The 10-year-old pulled more than 10,000 pounds in the form of 2 pickup trucks with his dad, Joe, by his side.
It's a double-edged sword for me because as a coach, I'm, remembering your breathing and remembering your biomechanics and staying in the right position. And as a dad, I'm just a cheerleader, but there's also a little bit of that, hey, dude, don't hurt yourself. After that little bit of hesitancy went away and he started really going, I was just a cheerleader, really. I was just super happy to see him do it and reach his dreams.
Joe says his son has big dreams, and he has no doubt he'll accomplish them.
He said, I do this because it makes me feel like I can do anything in the world. And that's that. At the end of the day, that's the lesson you want to teach your kids. We tell our kids all the time, you can do anything, but we don't really show them how to do anything. And this, I think, is showing them you can really do anything. Who's the strongest kid in the world?
Me.
Let's go, Bo. Later, Joplin Volleyball prepares to take on Nixa in the Class 5 sectionals.
Plus, it's going to continue to rain for us tonight into tomorrow. I'll give you those details coming up. Well, kind of a nasty day outside for us today. Temperatures cold, rain all day long. We had even a few embedded little thunderstorms in the batches of showers and thunderstorms that we had earlier today with the first band. Now we're dealing with the second band. We're going to get a third, a fourth, fifth, sixth band over the next 36 hours or so. But first band lifting north, and then you can see it just immediately redevelops right across northeastern Oklahoma and rolls in. Now where you see the yellows on the radar, that is moderate rain. So most of this is light to moderate rain, but the ground's very saturated. So you may get a little bit of flash flooding in spots just due to the amounts of rain that we have seen over the past week. But you can see a pretty good band really from Pittsburgh all the way down to Miami toward Bentonville. A little bit of a lull once you get over toward Monette, Cassville, Lockwood. But these bands are just going to continue to fill back in. Let's go ahead and zoom into the metro. You can see it's raining pretty good from Pittsburgh, Carl Junction, Joplin, Carthage starting to pick back up, and then starting to pick back up toward Neosho, and then down toward downstream Miami, Commerce. So everybody's getting pretty good rain. And again, this is going to continue as we go through the overnight hours. Rainfall amounts, where you see this shade, this is mainly a quarter to a half an inch, and then everybody who's in the green is approaching an inch of rain. So we've had some pretty good amounts throughout the daytime hours. Temperatures also cold. Most of us are sitting mid to upper 50s to near 60, and we've stayed pretty steady as we've gone through the daytime hours for us today. Looks nasty. Here's 7th and Rangeline. We're looking a jaunt toward the south. Currently outside 57, southerly winds at about 3. Of course, humidity is on the high side. Through the evening hours, slide back through the 50s, eventually near 50 by the time we head into the morning hours. This whole storm system, it's a slow moving system. That's why it's going to be on top of us over the next 36 hours. In fact, you can start to see a little bit of spin out toward Wichita, so that's the main area of low pressure. But this system is really digging deep, so when this repeats in the heady pattern, that's going to be a pretty good storm. That's going to be right around December 20th or so, so that will have the chance to be a snowmaker instead of a rainmaker like we are seeing this time. All right, let's go through the overnight hours. Here's 9 p.m. Showers, a random thunderstorm or so. We'll continue to get on and off periods of showers through the overnight hours. May get a little bit of a lull between 10 p.m. and about 2 a.m., and then it's just rain all the way into the morning hours. So if you're waking up early, it starts on the wet side. We continue to get rain through the morning hours tomorrow. So here's about the noon hour. Let's go into the afternoon. Periods of rain. Look at our temps. We're cooling down. We're going to be into the upper 40s by tomorrow afternoon. 51 to start, 50 by noon, down to about 48 as we head into the afternoon hours. Rain continues tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and then finally by Friday morning, it starts to taper off just a little bit. But rainfall accumulations from this point on, I still think a lot of areas are going to pick up 1 to 2 additional inches of rain on top of half an inch to an inch that we already have. 55 for us tomorrow. That's pretty much a midnight high, and we're going to drop from there. 53 on Friday. Sunshine returns. We get to dry out just in time for Halloween weekend.
Boy, nothing makes you appreciate the sunshine more than a couple of rainy, dreary days.
Kind of nasty.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, the Joplin Eagles prepare to face Nixa in the sectional round of the Class 5 state volleyball bracket. And Missouri Southern football returns home to face Missouri Western. Jacob Leonard has that and more after the break.
The Missouri Southern Lions have just 3 games left in the season. The Lions are 3-5 after a 3-point loss at Emporia State last weekend. Southern aims to bounce back on Hall of Fame weekend this weekend, hosting Missouri Western. It's been a season of close games for the Missouri Southern Lions.
I looked at it, and we've had 5 of our 8 games this year have been one-score ball games. And so, from an outsider perspective, I think the difference between 3-5 and 5-3 is this huge deal. But from inside the program, I'm telling you, there's not a huge difference.
The Lions are 3-5 heading into the weekend. They're coming off a 24-21 loss at Emporia State. In that game, the Lions finished strong, but a 10-0 first quarter deficit was too much to overcome.
I think if we had played the first quarter like we did the third and the fourth, I think we'd win that football game.
Saturday, the Lions welcome in Missouri Western, a team with a matching 3-5 record.
They have a 2-quarterback system right now where they have one quarterback who's really good at running the ball, and then they have another quarterback that can really throw the ball down the field. So it's just important this week to really work on keeping our eye on personnel at the quarterback position.
They are probably the most athletic team we faced up to point. I mean, they are on their defense. They have a very big front that runs well. They're very long in the back end, which, you know, obviously when you're covering receivers and coverage units, they do a really nice job there.
With just 3 games to go, the Lions are aiming to finish the season strong. And despite dropping some close games, the energy and attitude is as high as ever.
We're not worried about our record. We just worry about getting better every day. So when everybody's competitive out there, everybody trying to make plays, it makes practice more fun. The energy is always great. It's always going to be high.
The guys are seeing the shift. If you flip on our film, we've improved every week. We've come to work every day, and I'm extremely proud of our guys for that. And we've gotten better. And that's the key here is to continue to get better. The best teams just continue to get better all the way throughout.
Missouri Southern's game against Missouri Western kicks off at 2 p.m. on Saturday in Joplin. The Joplin Eagles are still alive in the Missouri Class 5 volleyball playoffs. The Eagles will be in action on the road tomorrow night, facing Nixa in the sectional round of the state bracket. And Joplin got to this point by claiming the Class 5 District 12 title on Monday. It's their first district title in 30 years. While they are in unfamiliar territory, the Eagles are loose and feeling good ahead of tomorrow's matchup with Nixa.
We had a really good practice yesterday. The girls came in extremely focused and ready to go. It was really good to see them. Obviously, at the beginning, they were a little wound up, but we got them settled in, and they were focused, and they knew that we had to wait to kind of see who we were going to end up playing tomorrow, but they said they were ready to go. They didn't care who.
Joplin faces Nixa in Nixa tomorrow night at 6:30. The winner moves on to the state quarterfinals on Saturday. Finally, Pitt State's Kyle Rutledge has been named the MIAA Men's Cross Country Coach of the Year. Rutledge led the Gorilla men, to their first ever Cross Country League championship over the weekend in his first season as head coach. Pitt State had 4 top 10 finishers at the league meet, earning all MIAA honors. And next up for the Gorillas, they'll compete at the NCAA Division II Central Regional in Joplin on November 6th. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Gunner's Mate 2nd Class Loyal Larson served in the U.S. Navy. His hometown, Goodman, Missouri. And we are proud to salute Gunner's Mate 2nd Class Loyal Larson. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 after Game 2 of the World Series. Going to hear more about a series of arsons in Joplin over the past few months. Also, United Airlines is reportedly losing millions of dollars per month, placing unvaccinated pilots on paid leave. And the latest on investigations after an accidental shooting on a movie set. That and more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 after the World Series. Now, in just a few days, either the Atlanta Braves or Houston Astros are going to win that World Series. If the Astros win, well, a man well known to Houstonians will take home a hefty sum. Television viewers in Houston know Jim Mattress Mac McInvale for commercials he stars in to advertise his furniture store. An Astros victory in the World Series would net him $35.6 million. That's because of a bet he placed at Caesars in Las Vegas back in June. You might be wondering how much he had to put down to get a payout that large, which, by the way, would be the single largest payout on a bet in U.S. history. Well, the answer to that question is he had to pay out $2 million. McInvale isn't off to a great start. The Braves won the first game of the World Series on Monday night. Game 2, again, is tonight over on Fox 14.
I think he's going to lose $2 million. Like,
if you're betting $2 million, you probably are fine, but that's probably pretty stressful also watching this.
Well, think how stressful it is to watch your team compete for a world championship when there's no money on the line. This guy's got to be sweating bullets.
It's true.
The weather.
Rain tonight, rain tomorrow night, tapers on Friday. Leonard?
Pitt State football back at home this weekend as well, facing Central Oklahoma. We'll hear from them tomorrow night.
Thanks for joining us. See you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.